Okay, Wally. Um, try to get this. I'll try to be as short-winded as I can. You know that's going to be hard for me. But the gentleman on the right is named Mike Bennett, and if you watch on the Golf Channel those stack and tilt commercials, he's the guy. Him and Andy Plummer and my friend Nick Clearwater. But this swing is perfect for you. A lot of people get freaked out. You mentioned stack and tilt, and they're just like, all of a sudden they think it's some kind of crazy method that, you know, that only a few people can do. And when in actuality, it's actually probably the most simple swing there is. When you look at Mike's positions at the top, and you look at how short and compact the swing is, I mean, anybody can do it. You know, even a caveman. Um, right off the bat, I'll guarantee you, the first thing you noticed was posture. You guys are real close to being set up. I'm just going to draw that line right there from his ear down to through his hip. But when you're looking at lines, I mean, I want you to look at how close Mike is to 45 degrees with all his lines. Okay, now depending on your body, some people are going to be different than others, but I wouldn't say they're 90 degrees difference. I mean, that's not perfectly 90 degrees from his shaft angle to his spine angle, but it's pretty close. And what I'm going to do is, I have a really cool thing that I can do. I can go to impact, and I can stop and push a button here. What I'm going to do, so I can just with a push of the button, I can click impact. Setup, impact, setup, impact. Look how his spine angle never changes. He just bang, bang. I mean, all his lines are perfect. It's all parallel and perpendicular lines working on a circle. All right, so let's do the same thing with you. All right, so we can see that your original shaft plane is 35. I'd like to see you just a tad bit taller. Get some of that roundness out of your back. You've actually got a pretty dadgum good. If we just, that's good. That's pretty good right there. You know, if you look over here at Mike, just taking a look, and the numbers don't have any. They don't mean diddly squat here, but that's pretty dadgum good. You've got some what we call kyphosis. That's just an anatomical thing. I'd like to see you maybe get your shoulders back a little bit. If there's one thing, and whoever's running the camera is too far to the left over here on Mike. If there's one thing, I'd like to see the arms maybe hang out a little bit more. His arms are almost back towards his legs, and that's a Mike Bennett thing. I like your arm angle. In fact, I'd actually like it up a little bit more upright. I'd like a little bit more space between your thigh and your hands. Okay. Now I'm going to put a line from your ear. Now see, for you to get close to 90 degrees, you're going to have a 53-degree angle in your spine, but you're not going to be able to do that. Okay. So you're going to be closer to about 41 degrees there. All right. I'm going to do the same thing with you. I want you to look at the difference from your impact position to your P7, which is P7 is impact. Now, look at the line. I'll change colors here just for a little contrast. Let's go red. But look at the red line I put on your butt. Okay? You should go cheek to cheek. So when I click to P7 impact, there shouldn't be any gap there. Alright, so let me stop it at impact. Okay. Start you at address. And then boom, 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 boom. We call that humping the shaft. Hopefully your wife's not watching it. Alright, but just look at all this distance. I'll use a red line. But look at this. If you were up against a wall what you would try to do is go from right cheek to left cheek and never come off that wall. Now, some of this is a fitness issue. You got to get stronger in your core. But I've met Mike several times, and trust me, he's not Fabio. I mean, his body he's kind of dumpy. He's got a belly on him, so his fitness level's not super. So you don't have to be in Tiger Woods condition to make this move. So just when I stop, I'm going to do the same thing with Mike here, so I can just click back and forth like we did. So, address, impact, address, impact. Now, I told you the camera position is different here, but because if it wasn't, if the guy had his hands, he had the camera in the right position, I promise you, there wouldn't be this space right here. And notice, see, if you look at Mike, you can see quite a bit of his left leg there. Can't even hardly see yours, okay? Can't see any of your butt cheek. So if you look at Mike, it's from right cheek to left. But the important thing to notice is look right here on his ear and right here at the bottom. That doesn't change. See, he just rotates right around that spine. Boom. And we go over here at you. Impact, dress, impact. And watch how your hands go forward. See how your hands, the shaft angle changes? It should change. It's going to change a little bit, but not too much. See how much Mike's changes. Now, it's not, if you notice, his hands go toward the target, not away from his body. Let's see what yours do. Yeah, see, your hands are going forward. See the back of your right hand, it really doesn't change position. Okay, so, spine angle. We want to rotate around the spine. Alright, so I'm going to clear some of all this mess up. I'm going to draw a couple of lines back, and that's going to be your original, your original shaft plane. Alright, and so we're just going to real quick go through the positions. We'll stop Mike at P2. Doesn't get any better than that right there. His hands and the club head are right in a circle there. We'll draw a circle. Let's see where you go. Okay, not terrible. Not terrible. Hands. What I do like, and you've worked on this, you've gotten much better, is your left arm is going somewhere between your heels and your toes. And that's what we see with the good players. With the driver, Mike really takes it inside. Okay, you've got a little bit too much over rotation of the left arm. Alright, so that's P2. There's Mike's 3. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good position. Alright. There's your 4. You're in a beautiful spot right there. Okay. I'm just going to start it. That is really good, Wally, because your club face and your left arm and your shoulders are all pretty close to the same plane. And hopefully, when you come back through, all right, I'm going to draw in yellow your P3 shaft position. I'm going to draw Mike's P3 shaft position. And when you get to P5, that's on the way back down. Oh, man, my bad, dude. My bad. Real quick, let me draw Mike's. This is only about the 4th one of these little web lessons I've done since I've got this software. Alright, so P2. Just want to show you where his shaft was at P3. So when he comes back through, so here's Mike's top, okay? When he gets to P3, that shaft's going to be close to where it was. I mean, P5 is going to be close to where it was. The P3, almost identical. And here's the good thing: the shaft is always square to the plane. Okay, so here you are at your top, right there. Okay, and your shaft, your club face is square to the plane too. But watch this little action. Watch how your hands, maybe not work that far over. And then the blue line delineates your shaft, your slot. Okay, so that's your slot. We hear so much. Man, I'm just absolutely blowing this one over here. All right. So here's Mike's slot, and if he works anywhere down in that slot, most of the good guys will follow that little perforated line that I'm making right down there. So let's watch Mike, and watch how still his hands and everything are. There's not hardly anything getting off plane. All right, so probably, arguably, one of the most important positions is P6, or the delivery position. Okay, a lot of the guys, you'll see their club face already closed here, and I bet if Mike saw this video, he'd go, man, my club face is not quite where I want it to be. He's a little late with the hands. That's actually where it is. But trust me, it's not bad. Because Mike Bennett is known as one of the best ball strikers in the world, and he's played on a lot of the mini tours. But he started coaching and started making a lot of money doing that. So watch your hands. See, they're not as big, not as extreme as those yellow lines, but you can see how your hands work over the top of the plane. And why does that happen? Because you're starting the swing with your arms and hands, and not down here with your legs. Okay, so you do a pretty good job of saving it. Okay, it's just steep. All right, so I'm going to stop you at 6. Not a bad position. Okay, I'd like to see a little bit more of your left leg and start to see some of your butt cheeks. See, if you look over here at Mike, you can see a little bit of his butt cheek. So his hips are absolutely leading the parade here. Okay, so there's his impact position, or P7. And notice how that elbow, it's right on his hip, and they start to work through. Now eventually that right arm will straighten out, see, but it doesn't straighten out until the ball's gone. So that means that he's saved his lag. He's held that. All right, here's the big thing right here. Talk about holding your flying wedge. If you were in front of him, and I'll show you another video, you would see him holding the back of his left wrist would be really flat. Okay, notice how we can see a lot of his left butt cheek. His right foot is rolling down, like he's going to try to put the inside of his right ankle down on the ground. Okay, don't see any of your left butt cheek. Okay. We'll stop you at P8. There's your P8. There's Mike's P8. So you're doing a pretty good job. I'm going to draw a line through your ear. I'm going to show your spine angle, and then I'm going to click it back to address and see how much you've moved. Not bad, buddy. That's actually really impressive. That pleases me. I mean, you've always had the athletic ability. It's just taking a little bit of tweaking. So we got to get those hands to work straight back down and not over that plane. See that? See that little loop-de-loop you're making there? I know that looks very, very small and trivial, very subtle, but it's huge. Real quick, go back. Look at Mike's transition. Look at this. Boom. I mean, it's just like they're on a track. And that's lag. Notice how that gap gets smaller. See, his arms aren't straight, but that gap, that angle It gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and he holds it, and then he releases it all down at the bottom. Now here's what's cool. You're going to see his shaft pretty much exit real close to parallel to his shoulders. Boom. And that club face. Remember where his club face was at the top? Pointing in that direction. Stays there. I mean, right here. Points there. And then it starts to square up. Square it up. Boom. Now, I'll guarantee you right now, his club face is pretty close to that direction. And then it's going to release and turn over. Now it's going to be pointing the opposite of where it was. Now his club face points there. So he's always swinging on the circle. Again, I'm going to use a yellow color for contrast and draw his spine angle. And you'll just see how he rotates right around that. You can't play unless you can do this. I see so many junior kids that right here their head drops, just like tigers, and they think that's what they're supposed to do. But they don't realize how good a chipper and pitcher and game manager that Tiger is. Tiger doesn't win because of his ball striking. Trust me, he wins in spite of it. I mean, he strikes it, but just nowhere near as consistent as a 14-time major winner, you would think. Of all the major great players, Tiger's probably the most crooked. Okay, he rotates right around that spine. And you do a pretty good job of it. But come on off that right foot a little bit. That keeps your hips from turning. Okay, so I'm going to show you one from the front, and you'll see how Mike. In fact, I'm going to compare your swing to Mike's flying wedge swing.